Good morning, everyone. It's Jennifer McCreath, Friday, June 7th, 2013. Following up on a story I did last night that was on CBC News and that I video blogged about regarding something known, I guess, as reverse discrimination, which is also known as discrimination. There's a story about women's feminist rights individuals raising concern that putting females and males in the same hospital room is a threat to their safety. And I was outraged as someone who's gone through a sexual and medical transition from male to female. I've found myself being shunned, rejected, deemed a risk simply because of my sex or gender. And I know discrimination when I see it. And I was very angry and upset. I see CBC has now posted a story on their website. Mixed sex hospital rooms called a safety hazard. And there is a picture of Denise Hayes, who works for, where is it here? I believe it's the Women's Sexual Assault Crisis Center here at St. John's. First of all, I actually know Denise, and I worked with her on a project for, I believe it was 2010 Pride Week. She's a lovely person. I don't believe she intentionally means harm to anyone, and I don't believe she intentionally intended to offend anyone. However, at the same time, her comments were quite, in my opinion, discriminatory and harsh. And I guess just to demonstrate this, I'm going to take a look. At the end of every website on CBC, you can create comments. And seems I'm not the only one that's upset with these comments made by Denise, and I want to read, there's 18 comments on here, 16 of which seem to agree with my stance that this type of discrimination is inappropriate. Trevor Harris says, "This is sexism wrapped up in a socially acceptable blanket. Read the story again and swap men with women and it reads completely different." Now, 154 people gave Trevor a thumbs up for his comment, and only 17 gave him a thumbs down. Somebody named Joey B123 said, "I'm not sure why the assumption is that men will assault women just because they are in the same room. If a woman were to be put into a room with my husband, father, or brother, they would be more than safe. There are always plenty of visitors in the wards and the staff, and if anyone's in a situation feels uncomfortable, then it can be addressed. I'd much rather be put into a room than left out in a hall. Emergency room is co-ed. I think calling it a violation of human rights is a bit much. Could she argue that allowing men and women to share any space is a violation?" 148 gave that comment a thumbs up, only 13 a thumbs down. And I guess to clarify, Denise was quoted, hang on a second here, I'm trying to reach something on my table. There we go. Denise was quoted as saying she'd rather sit out in a hospital hallway than go into a room with a male. And I think that was the comment that really sparked the anger. BDK 1001 said, quoting her, "This is a violation of human rights at its most basic." How dramatic. 141 up, 20 down. Joe Regular, "I guess men's safety is of very little concern to Ms. Hayes." 105 up, only 16 down. Somebody by the name of Jabberwock. "For the purpose of modesty, I agree that males and females be better served if housed in different rooms, the exception being patients who are in critical care or cardiac wards. I'd not want to be in a bed next to a woman when nurses are attending to me regarding personal hygiene. I must say, however, that Denise Hayes' remarks are over the top. If a male made these comments, it would be considered sexist or the like, and people like Ms. Hayes would be howling with indignation." Hayes says it's one of the most vulnerable times in your life, and it's not whether you're safe, it's about a perception of safety. Well, men are also vulnerable when they're on the flat of their back in a hospital bed with God knows what. Get over yourself. Funny thing about some women, they say men and women are equal, but only when it suits their point of view. 88 thumbs up and only 3 thumbs down on that comment. Somebody named Drake, "Judging by the women I've seen in these co-ed rooms, the men are at more risk than the women." 106 up, only 32 down. Bushman 69 says, "They want to be treated equally, yet they want their own hospital room. Makes you wonder." 63 up, 15 down. Someone named Beware Fog. "Hogwash. I was once put in a hospital room temporarily with 3 females. I'm a male. I was sick I was in the hospital, for God's sakes. I did not feel unsafe. I didn't care if there were 3 monkeys in the other bed. When I'm in hospital, there's only one goal, and that is getting well. This is about the most ridiculous sexist mark I have ever heard. 17 up, only 1 down. Mr. Clark, what a total crock. 13 up, 2 down. NLB's fan. Seriously, and all joking aside, you can be put in a room where other patients of the other gender, or you can leave it to the status quo and be out in the hallway with nothing but a Johnny coat on display for all to see. I'd take the shared room every time. 6 up, 1 down. Iris 154. I was once sick with an infectious disease and had to be put in a private room. I felt so bad that an elderly man was on the gurney in the hall all night due to lack of beds. I would have happily shared or changed places. Most gender rooms are not a good general policy. However, in a crunch, I think the person who does not want to share should be the one in the hallway, and the ones who will share should have the rooms. 6 up, 1 down. What else do we got here? Okay, here's a comment that supports Denise's point of view. This is a demeaning move by authorities. Unless really pushed for beds, which there is no real excuse for, mixed patients should not happen, in my opinion. Droverover. He got only 21 ups and 66 downs for that comment. Somebody called Second Thought. She is right. No reason to put opposite sex in the same room. Well, you got 20 up and 78 down. Well, I guess I rest my case. This is a discrimination issue. It's a sexist discrimination issue. It's reverse discrimination. Whatever you want to call it, it's discrimination. In my comment, what did I say on the news last night that got quoted? Just because you have a penis doesn't make you a safety risk. So all you feminists out there, you got some work to do. I mean, I don't want to downplay. Sexual assault and sexual violence against women is a horrible problem, and it's a horrible traumatic event for the victims. These victims are traumatized, often for life. They deserve help to deal with the trauma. At the same time, we all need to move on with our lives. I've been victimized in a variety of ways. I've been physically assaulted. I've had death threats. I've had inappropriate sexual advances and sexual touching put on me in my life. Yeah, I've had my family turn my back on me. I've lost jobs. I've been denied housing. I've been denied employment. I've been denied health care. One could argue that I am at an increased risk for my safety every time I walk out the door simply because I have a transsexual medical history. Doesn't mean I'm going to use this as an excuse to ask for preferential treatment everywhere I go. And as tough as it is to be a victim, we all need to take steps to cope and overcome and reintegrate into society. Just because you've been a victim of sexual assault by one male in your life does not mean you cannot share a hospital bed or a hospital room in an emergency situation with somebody who has a penis. So I don't know what to do with this. I mean, it's funny. As a trans woman, I seem to be rejected. Men's rights and women's rights movements, neither really seems to want to warm up to trans women. Ironically enough, a lot of trans men get embraced by women's movements, not because they're men, but because they're non-ops and they're females with vaginas. Let's keep the dialogue going on this. I'm going to reach out to Denise and have a little chat. And bottom line is they're all human beings. And sure, we're all different, but sometimes we're all the same. When you're in a hospital, you're not man, woman, you're not male, female, you're a patient. You're there to get medical attention. You're there to get helped. And what's in between your legs or what's on your birth certificate should be a secondary issue. Getting people the help they need. Heck, our healthcare system's already a mess. Let's not make it any worse, people. Questions, comments, feel free. Post on there on the comment section. info@jennifermccreath.com if you want to email me. Let's talk. because we got to sort this one out. This is a messy one, folks. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.